It's so important to early diagnose an issue. When we assess a person, the worst thing that can happen is someone not paying attention to a personal injury. A hip injury can latently hang around and lead to a degenerated hip 20 years later. A neck injury, a football injury could lead to literal arthritis as time goes on. It took a long time, Mario, for the Surgeon General to come up with a little sense that smoking is hazardous for your health. We had known for literally 40 years, but we had known about arthritis as a disorder, and recently, in the last 2 decades, the Surgeon General has come up with saying that arthritis is a disorder of biomechanical imbalance. But where did this biomechanical imbalance begin?
Right.
Typically an injury in the past. And that people did not pay attention to, an injury, football injury, a fall, any type of thing that causes trauma that is not dealt with. We have to really assess the situation and bring some sort of protocol to the individual to allow them to heal and to allow the body to heal like it normally should. Personal injuries are very important. They have striking issues that affect the whole body dynamics, such as an ankle injury. An ankle issue will affect a knee, will affect the hip, will affect a low back, will affect the mid-back, will affect the neck. And people just don't get it. When I'm saying people, insurance carriers, how a person who fell off of a ladder and landed on a bum and hurt their low back now has shoulder issues, 6 months, a year later.
Or headaches.
Exactly.
Headaches. I mean, they're dealing with issues with chronic headaches, with dizziness, and the conversation that you and I always have on a secondary level is like, oh, this is not contributed to the injury. Okay, so they fell down, and somehow their whole body fell down, but there's only one injury. And that's like the low back, and that's it. Like none of the body, and this is what's so intriguing. I laugh about it. I just go, you know what? What color is the red bus? Right. I don't know. It's pink today because we have more pink. No, you cannot have a whole body engaged in a traumatic acceleration, deceleration injury or an impact, and someone can tell us or a patient that, by the way, the only part that you have injured is your low back or your neck, and that's it. And
you were mentioning right there when acceleration, deceleration, that those are terms that are used primarily for describing someone coming from a high velocity to a sudden stop, and it's a very common physics term and a very popular one in the legal realm. And I'm glad that you used it, because the thing that we're talking today is about motor vehicle accidents, and specifically auto accidents that cause injuries and leave people with problems many months later. I know you know this, and from the time that I began my practice, the most common thing after a motor vehicle accident was someone that said, I don't have anything that hurts, right?
Absolutely.
And then how long does it take before the symptoms show up, Mark?
Come on. Realistically, Alex, I would say anywhere between three to 4 weeks, sometimes even longer. I have patients that actually refuse treatment, and they tell me this. Like I had I was hit by a car from the back. That's like real common.
Right.
People nowadays are, they pay more attention to their cell phones than what's in front of them, or anywhere, distractions, right? So for whatever reason, you get hit from the back. I mean, that incident I hear so many times. Patients come in, they're dealing with headaches, migraines, severe migraines, where they're on heavy medications. They have neck issues, chronic, and they tell me, I've never been the same. And it started 2 years ago when this happened. Well, what that happened, that event was, I got hit from the back.
Yeah.
And then they even tell me, I've never been the same again.
You've been damaged.
You know what? And they refuse, and I tell them, well, did you get any care? No, I didn't get any care because I was fine. I felt fine, and, I didn't need it.
Patients need to get evaluated after an auto accident. They do, because you never know what's going on. And sometimes the body has amazing capacities of hiding symptoms.